Ooh, baby. Oh, baby. Hello and howdy, folks. How are you doing today? How are you doing today? I'm here to say that I am ready to play some games, hoping that this stream's not lame. Here tonight, we're gonna fight all the bad guys in the... I don't know. Is the audio working? Yeah, it's working. All right. Well, hey, howdy, folks. How are y'all doing? I said we might do another stream this evening to focus on the extra story quests that are littered across the world, and we're going to do that. So let's go in together. I'm going to go ahead and hit the record button. If you join in, say hi. I'll say hi back. I'm not as worried as I was when this series started about having that separation of stream and video. I don't care so much. I will absolutely interact with the stream now because I'm still trying to figure out what we're doing here. It's still a learning process, and I try to keep that in mind with like every video I do, just because I have an idea of how I want it to be. That might not be the best that the video can be. That might not be the best approach for the video. So, you know, we're still going to have a division of episodes, because I think that's better. But I'm going to go ahead and start this episode. So, 3, 2, 1. Howdy, folks. How are y'all doing? My name is Reese, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XVI, the Let's Play Adventure extravaganza of awesomeness and fun times to be had here in the wonderful world of Final Fantasy XVI, where today we previously completed, I'm pretty sure, all the little quests we had dotted around the hideaway. But we realized in the process of doing that there were a ton of quests dotted around the world. 5 to be exact, and they're in like an almost perfect but oblong circle. I guess that would be an oval, but not like a perfect oval. It's more of a teardrop shape around the hideaway. And I don't really know where to start on this, so I suppose it makes the most sense, because this is what we normally do. We'll start at Martha's Rest, and maybe we'll even go through them in the order of places we visited. So Martha's Rest is one of the first places we went to in the game after Cid rescued us, and then maybe we'll hit up over here at Northreach. That could be fun, because that Sanbreque was the second place we went. And then maybe we'll touch down here in Dalamil, and we'll just go through the 3 of these. And we'll just kind of see what the game has in store for us. You never know what you might get out of these. At the very least, we'll be getting some XP, some levels, all that good stuff. So without any further ado, let's do further. How about it? That's a weird way of saying that, wasn't it? Let's ado further? Someone else says that. Without further ado, let's do further. That's on like a YouTube channel. Maybe like a tutorial series that I watched at some point. Someone's going to comment. It's probably going to be... I mean, is that like a recent thing? Without further ado, let's do further. I'm going to have to look that up. Without further ado, let's do further. I don't see any links to anyone in particular. If you know, let me know, because I've forgotten. I feel like it's got to be one of the many, many technical channels that I've been watching over the last, oh boy, 10 years since I started like building PCs. I've been watching some of those today. I've been having some trouble with a particular computer, but that's a conversation for later. Let's focus on Martha.
Clive, I was just about to send for you. I'd like you to take something to Sir Wade up in Eastpool. Seeds for planting. Thought it was about time they started growing their own food. I'll keep providing them with whatever they need in the meantime, of course. But if Eastpool's going to survive, it's got to be able to fend for itself. As have those poor bearers. They've lived their whole lives in servitude, but now they're their own masters. Small wonder they ain't got the foggiest how to provide for themselves. So it's up to us to teach them. And if you're wondering why you, well, the Wagoneers taking supplies up that way have been coming back with more and more reports of Akashic around the village of late. Sir Wade's putting a brave face on it, but I think even he's starting to worry. And if he's likely to share those concerns with anyone, it's you.
That is perfectly reasonable.
All right.
Thanks. Wouldn't ask if I didn't have to. There. That should be enough to keep him in Gazal Greens for a few years at least.
Gazal Greens.
Not the most mouth-watering crop, I'll admit.
Chocobos love it.
They're hardy, they grow fast, and they fill a hole. Better that than something that'll wither away at first frost. And chocobos love 'em too, which is no small thing. When I say all of us need to pull together to get Eastpool back on its feet, I mean all of us.
Sure.
They ain't exactly succulent, but cook 'em right and they're just about bearable.
Listen, you're making it sound worse the more you talk.
Sir Wade'll know what to do with them. And if he don't, well, I'll go up there and show him myself.
I'm sure you will.
Stick them in the ground, tell them a little bit. Tasty treat, you know? Farming's easy. Coming from someone who's only ever successfully killed everything he's ever tried to grow. I used to be super critical of my parents because they've lost a ton of trees over the years to things that I believe are just like negligence. Like, oh, we're in a drought and we're not going to water the trees. Okay. But this year I lost 2 trees. One was pine beetles, which if I had been watering the trees more, usually a healthy tree that is being very well hydrated can fend off pine beetles by just drowning them in sap. There's another term for it. It's sap is what it is, but there's another term where as they burrow in, it releases sap, but there's like a different term for it, and it gets all bubbly and just suffocates them and fills the hole back in. And I was not diligent enough with watering the trees, which is kind of why the second tree, which is the first one that died, also died, because the county tore up a lot of its roots, and it's been struggling for the last few years, and I've had to keep it watered to keep it alive as it continues to try to sort of repopulate the root structure to sort of... I failed. I failed both of those trees, and it cost me $1,400 to get them cut down and hauled off. In case you were wondering, it's expensive being a homeowner. I don't advise it. Well, I do. It's better than renting.
Lord Rossfield.
If you can.
What brings you to Eastpool?
House is expensive now, though.
Delivery from Martha.
If I didn't buy my house when I did, I could not buy one now. I was talking to all of my friends. I've got a lot of younger friends who are, not younger, you know. Most of my friends are 2 or 3, 4 years younger than me, but they're all starting to get married, and they're all looking at buying houses, and they're like, wow, how'd you do this? I was like, I couldn't do it now. I promise you that. I was very blessed. I'm very grateful to God for the timing on that.
Green seeds. Oof. Martha's keen to cut the apron strings, then, is she? I jest, of course. You see, I had thought we might be able to revive the old wheat fields, but they'd long since gone to seed, only without the seeds. Martha was hoping you might be able to show the bearers how to plant and tend these, so that they'll be able to fend for themselves. That's not a bad idea. These bearers had only recently escaped their bonds before we brought them here. They know little of freedom, of providing for themselves and their loved ones. Unless we teach them how to live like free men, I fear that all we have achieved in bringing them here is to exchange one master for another. Not that myself and the Guardians have been the best example to them so far, subsisting almost entirely on Martha's charity as we do.
Okay, what's wrong with the well is that the well is currently covered.
Provide for ourselves.
Take that off and you'll be able to access the water on the inside. It's not complicated.
Unfortunately, we've been a little too busy of late to focus on much besides bolstering our defenses. There have been alarming reports of...
The Horde is closing in. They're coming, so wait, all of them.
Damn it all, I thought we'd have more time. Gather the men in the square. Send to the rest for reinforcements.
Yes, Sir Wade.
The Horde. A Kashek, a veritable legion of them. They've been seen prowling around the northern reaches for a while now. We don't have the numbers to hold back a swarm that size. I had hoped to build a perimeter wall so that myself and the Guardians might be able to defend the village, but... Now you're out of time. Precisely. If reinforcements from the rest arrive before they do, we may just scrape through, but I fear that's rather an enormous if. What if you could call on reinforcements from Eastpool? You mean the bearers? We brought them here so they might live, not die fighting for their lives.
Sometimes you gotta be willing to die for your freedom, you know?
Men to defend the village. Are the bearers not men? Do they not wish to see Eastpool saved? Though they may not be trained soldiers like your Guardians. What help they are able to offer could still prove the difference between victory and defeat.
Give them some bow and arrows. Put them at a distance. I know that sounds super simple. I understand firing a bow.
I will.
It's very difficult. A lot of draw strength necessary. But I'm just saying. You have them yeet rocks from over a wall or something. They can contribute in a way. If the Ewoks can defeat the Empire, I think these guys could probably handle a few monsters.
I humbly beg your aid. We Guardians are few and our enemies many. But I swear we can defeat them with you at our side.
These people have been so beaten down by the
Send
world.
us to the slaughter.
No, we're teaching you to defend yourselves.
Bait for those fiends so that you and your men might be spared. And to think we trusted you.
Fight for someone, you save him for a day. Teach him to fight,
Say
you save
what
him
you
for a
will.
lifetime.
Oh,
Ancient
not
Chinese
worth fighting
proverb.
for.
Are you kidding?
It is worth fighting for. Sir Wade fights to give you lot a chance. Just like I do. Just like Sid does. We all wanted to give you a home where you could be free. And you got one, didn't you? This place, Eastpool. This is your village. Your home. And if you don't fight to protect what's yours, you'll lose it. You know I'm right. This world wants to take everything from you. Everything. Your homes, your freedom, your very lives. So then, are you going to stand by and let that happen to you?
No!
Are you going to accept fate like good little Bran did and die, having never stood up for yourselves?
Heck no!
Or will you fight like free men and women?
Yeah! Yeah! I'm just in the background trying to hype up the crowd. Yeah! Yeah! I'm like those FBI guys at the January 6th trying to get everyone riled up. Yeah!
What are you doing?
All right. Give me a sword.
Yeah, there we go.
I'd have a home of my own. And now that I have, I don't want to lose it. I will protect what's mine, or die trying.
We all will. Free men and women, fighting together. For Eastpool!
For Eastpool! For ourselves! Because that's what we're fighting for! Ugh. I do like that Wade and
Thank
Clive
you,
are
Martha.
kind of color matched in a sense.
Don't mention it. Just promise me one thing. That you'll show them how freeborn fight.
Gladly.
By the way, hello GSNL. How are you? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the live stream. Hey, you too can watch us record
Well,
things live if you
it was
become a channel
numbers you were
member.
lacking,
Mythic
it
tier,
certainly won't
mythic
be
tier or
now.
higher.
Thanks to
Just
you.
throwing it out there. We do that sometimes.
Hey. Oh, I just love the sound of my own voice.
Lord Rossfield, my lady, we're ready.
So what's the plan of action?
We'll divide our forces into several small detachments, each made up of guardians, bearers, and guards from the rest. These will position themselves at strategic points around the village. Upon engaging with the Akashic, each detachment will keep the creatures occupied as best they can, steadily retreating all the while.
You're going to lure them into the village.
I am. We will have neither the time nor the resources to treat the wounded, so injuries must be avoided at all costs. Instead, we will focus purely on defense at first. By coordinating our withdrawal through the use of messengers drawn from among the bearers, we will aim to have the swarm converge at a point of our choosing. With luck, that point will be the village square, the perfect place for our most able warriors to surround them and fall upon them, and for you and I to finish them off.
A sound plan, but one that'll require a leader with a cool head and strong nerves to coordinate the retreat. I'd say you have both in abundance, Sir Wade, but you'll be needed. Please, leave the last of the fighting to me.
Ha! And let you have all the glory.
Sir Wade! They're here!
then you know what you must do.
This is the second time in a row we've had a
We
quest
work
that's just
together.
defend
Everyone
village from a
playing their
Kashyyyk.
part, each shielding the other that no man might fall. That Eastpool might live on. For Rosaria.
For Rosaria!
For Rosaria!
We've no time to argue, my lord. I'll do as you ask.
And I will do as you ask.
Apologies.
Suppose we'd better do our bit too, then, eh?
Right you are, Martha.
Let's try to look
Calm
something
before
up.
the storm.
Boy, that calm was short-lived.
And here it comes.
Here it comes indeed. I can't help but notice that someone else has joined
Let this
us.
village fall.
How you doing, Lucas Kits? You could be like Lucas Kits in GSNL if you become a channel member at the Mythic tier or higher. Just throwing the idea out there so you're all aware. Who's left? Come down here, you. We never use that ability on anything. It's like, very rarely will we have an enemy where it makes sense for us to want to draw them closer. So what have we got right now? Scorpions? What if, are they susceptible to twist string? Are they susceptible to the spin? Alright, come at me. Just like slowly pushing them back into the twister. Oh, you didn't see that coming, did ya? Yeah, it's a new one we got. It's a new one we got. Now we give them the old wind up. Completely wipe them out. Send him into the twisting fray. We are at our peak when it comes to combat right now. The ability set that we've got, I mean, I know there's room for improvement. I'm not foolish enough to think we've got the best setup in the game. But I kind of feel like it's going to be hard-pressed to beat what we've currently got in terms of lineup. Upgrading some things, getting some new abilities, sure. What does this do again? Oh, this. No, this is like the most useless thing. We could just get rid of, we can get rid of this loadout, replace it with something else, and then just kind of master maybe pile drive, and it will be so much better off. Kind of like what we did here, where the only thing I like from the ice loadout is the cold snap. Like, everything else just kind of sucks. To the point where we don't even have any of those abilities queued up anymore. All we've got is the cold snap. I mean, look how quickly we just slice through them like a warm knife through butter. That's pretty decent. And we got some good stuff out of it. We got plenty of sharp thing necessary for continued crafting.
Looks like that's the last of them.
Lord Rossfield, change of plan.
What is it?
Owl from the rest. An Akashic curl's been sighted on Rhiannon's ride and is headed in their direction.
Well, the better half of her guard is here. So wait, how many Akashic remain in Eastpool?
Hard to say. My men are still facing some resistance, but I think
Where?
the worst is behind us.
If I run around here, will I find
could
any?
order a detachment or two to fall back and...
No. Let them finish the job. You stay here too, Sir Wade. Your men need you. I'll go after the curl.
We can absolutely do that by
Eastpool
ourselves.
is won.
If you're sure, my lord. May the Founder protect you.
We are essentially a one-man army. Plus, we've got Torgal with us, so we're a one-man, one-dog army. I think we're perfectly qualified to deal with this situation. So we'll go ahead and fast travel back down to... oh, it's like smack dab in between here and there. Well, never mind on the fast traveling then. We'll just run down there. What is this and how long has it been here? Has this been here this whole time? Imagine if I'd played through the entire game without getting those 10 spools of still silk. I don't know if I would have been able to finish it. We could have been, like, stuck at some point in the story had we not gone ahead and gotten those. You know what I mean? Playing a game called Isle of Trains with Kinsey, but I figured I'd pull the stream up. That's great. What is Isle of Trains? Is that like a video game or is that a board game? That sounds like it would make a cool board game where basically the whole board is an island and then you have to try to build train tracks to connect different like attractions or different cities, but then the other player's trying to make other train tracks, and then you can like make agreements to have intersecting train tracks, and then also you can put up stations different places. This is probably not what the game is. I'm just throwing out there that with a name like that, you could make a game similar to that, and I think it would be quite fun and very strategic. So I'm putting that on the table, Hasbro. Give me a call. We can work together on that. Or we can just do like Howdy Folks Monopoly. That would be good too. Where is this thing located? Is it just like hanging out down here? I'm assuming we're gonna get like a cuts. Oh no, there it is. Yep, nope, it's there, and it seems very irritated.
With me, Torgal.
Just gonna right out the gate, hit it with one of these. That's doing quite a bit to the stagger gauge. If I do this too, and then we just start focusing on avoiding it, I was gonna say, yeah, look at that. We can start to just about get this thing staggered without ever like using our sword, which is what we just managed to do. Yeah, this is not even gonna break a sweat here. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. It's not even halfway defeated yet. I should not be getting like sassy and confident. It's all just, you know what? I take it all back. I take it all back. This is all the beginning. It's gonna go downhill soon enough. Oh, nasty little son of a gun. Is it staggered again? Wait, how did that happen? I wasn't even paying enough attention to realize it was staggered again. Can we defeat this thing before it stands up? Yes, we can! That's fantastic. Did we find out what this is? It's a new board game. You build trains and deliver complete contracts. I was not far off. I got board game and I got the building. I didn't get building trains part, but I was thinking more along the lines of a track. How is it so far? You say it was a Kickstarter? I've got a question. Being a Kickstarter, first off, amazing that it delivered. Second, how many delays were there? Just out of curiosity. I don't have a problem with delays. I understand that most products, especially if it's something you've never done before, they take longer to get done than you think. I just think it's funny how exaggerated things are with like even successful Kickstarters. Hi, Kenzie.
The Carl.
How are you?
It's dead.
Thank the Founder for that. And for you, my lord. We were able to eradicate the rest of the Horde. I have guardians posted around the village to keep watch for further attacks, but all seems quiet for now. I hesitate to say it, but I think it might be over.
I think it might.
We did it. We saved Eastpool. Thank you, my friends. Thank you.
No, Sir Wade. It's us who should be thanking you. You brought us together. Showed us what it means to fight for what you hold dear.
We never had nothing to call our own before. We didn't know what it meant to protect it, but now we do. We really do.
Forgive us, Sir Wade. You and your people saved us, and still we doubted you. But there's no doubt in my mind anymore. We're free men now, so we have to start acting like it. We have to fight to protect what's ours, to protect Eastpool. And we shall. We all shall. Together. This is our home. And if anyone or anything tries to take it away, they'll have us to answer to.
Come on then. Let's get to work.
This village isn't going to rebuild itself.
This is inspirational. It's really getting to the heart of what it means to be in a community, you know? To come together and fight for something bigger than yourself. It's beautiful.
They're not slaves anymore.
No. They're Rosarians. Your father took pity on the bearer's plight, and I believe if he was still with us today, this is what he would have wanted.
I believe you might be right.
I shall remain here, my lord, and do what I can to help rebuild the village. After all, this is my home now too. And I could hardly call myself an Eastpoolian if I didn't pull my weight.
I think you'll find it's East Pudlian, Sir Wade. But you should be proud all the same.
Why is there a D? I don't understand.
I'll have
Why?
to pull my weight too. Can't have the rest getting outclassed. Speaking of which, I ought to be getting back.
Can we continue to count on your support, Martha?
Of course. And I'd be counting on yours too. Us Rosarians have got to stick together, haven't we?
Indeed we have.
Hmm.
And Clive, come by the Golden Stables when you get the chance. I ain't paid you for delivering them seeds yet.
All right.
You can make me go back
I will.
to finish the quest, really? Okay, I mean, I'm not like super upset about it or anything. I just feel like
Lord Rossfield,
it's a bit of a waste of our time.
do you remember our very first mission together? Clearing the goblins from the Stillwind marshes?
How could I forget?
There's one sight that I shall never forget. You, facing off against that giant Morble. Not a trace of fear on your face.
I remember.
Since that day, there have been more than a few times when I felt like giving up. When the odds seemed so stacked in the enemy's favor, I thought I may as well just lay down my sword and surrender. But every time, I would think back to the look in your eyes that day and remember what it means to be a shield. Know that whatever trials Eastpool may face, I shall never lose courage. Thanks to you.
So Wade, you have always been a true shield. I know that Eastpool, and indeed all of Rosaria, will be safe in your hands.
Thank you, my lord. I know the rest of the world will be safe in yours.
I'll do my best.
I keep trying to think about if they were going to do DLC for this game, what would it focus around? And obviously I've not finished the game, so there may well be a lot of material post-game that could be mined from. But I think playing as Wade sort of immediately after the events at Phoenix Gate could be fun. That might be an interesting story. Also, she says, okay, Kinsey can't wait to meet me at our wedding. Are you and I getting married, Lucas? I wasn't aware of that. You've not proposed. I had no idea that was happening. You got to let me know about those sorts of things in advance. I also went ahead out of curiosity. I like to look this up sometimes and just find out. But I looked up Kinsey on Urban Dictionary, and I've got the definition of Kinsey's name here. Are you ready for it? So this is, I'm going to read it exactly as it's written. The grammar's not the best, but here we go. Kinsey is the most perfect girl a guy could ever meet. She beautiful, and once you lay your eyes on her, no other girl can catch your attention. Kinsey is so smart and intelligent, and the future is bright for her. She's also a fun person and is very hilarious. You honestly can't get enough of her. Kinsey is just one of those people that if they enter your life, you never want to leave them. No, that's Kinsey. Should we look up Lucas? Okay, that's Luca. I'm looking for Lucas. Why did it give me Luca? That was funny, though. No, hold on. Lucas with the S. No, stop that. Stop that. Do I need to, like, wait? I have to actually select. Here we go. Lucas. I can't read any of these. Here's one. Here's one I can read. Here we go. A kid who says they're really good at Fortnite, but they aren't, and also really annoying, and they don't touch grass. And then as an example to use it in a little sentence, that kid is such a Lucas. I love you. This isn't me saying this. There's another one immediately after that. This is a weird dude who's obsessed with machines and currently probably has the coronavirus. Kinsey's just so sweet. Lucas is so mean. a Lucas was a sacred grove in Roman religion. Really? That's interesting. Oh my goodness. There you go. There you go. Goodness me. I keep getting mustache hair in my mouth. I'm kind of curious what Reese is. Let's see. Oh, it would be Reese with an S, I guess, isn't it? Or Reese with an E is what I should say, because all Reese have an S. It's ridiculous to say otherwise. Someone who rages at video games when he's actually bad at them. What if you did this, didn't you? What if you put this on here? It's accurate. It's accurate. Oh, I'm sorry. So you're saying that Kinsey is not hilarious? Why? That's mean. Kinsey, I'm sure you're quite funny. I'm sure you're just the funniest cat at the ball. You know what I mean? You don't call people cats anymore, do you? I think they stopped doing that back when I was a teenager in the early 1900s. Okay, let's all get everything put back together. All right, Martha, we're back.
The hero returns. It's lucky you came by when you did, eh? Not only did my seeds get delivered, but you went and saved Eastpool and all.
I just did what I could.
And it's only right that you get rewarded for it. Take it before I change my mind.
Thank you, Martha.
There's humor to be derived
So,
here, but we're going to pass on
finally
it.
back on its feet again. And a home to free bearers. Who'd have thought we'd see the day, eh?
Well, it was your idea.
I know that, but I never stopped to think what it would mean. Bearers in charge of themselves, thinking for themselves, working for themselves. Like your hideaway, but not even hidden away. Though I suppose the rest ain't much different nowadays. You know, bearers living free like that reminds me of when I first met Sid. Loath as I am to recall that particular day.
I take it you didn't always see eye to eye. What happened?
This is curious. About to get some lore.
If you really want to know, I started doing what I do long before I met Sid. In fact, that's how I met him. Or at least how he came to meet me.
Oh, is this a flashback?
He showed up at the stables one day, asking questions about who'd been buying up bearers. Founder knows what he thought I was doing with them. Running a hunt, poking around in their innards. Something awful, anyway. Me, I thought he was a new constable. Thought the game was up. But somehow we both managed to work out what each other was about. And before I knew it, the cheeky arse was rattling on at me about how I was doing it all wrong. After all my hard work. Told me I was giving them relief, but not freedom. That my bearers were still dying as slaves. Got right under my skin, it did. Told him if he didn't like it, he could bugger off and report me to the garrison. And do you know what he did? He smiled. And then he laughed. And then I did the same. We made a pact that day, that whenever one of us was in need, the other would always be there for him.
And you were.
I miss Sid.
Well, we both wanted the same thing, to make life better for bearers. Just like your dad. Do you know I was born right around the time Elwyn became Archduke? Growing up, I saw how he tried to change things. He certainly didn't lack for ambition, that one.
Indeed. But the loftier one's ambitions, the harder they are to achieve. Which is why those of us who follow in their footsteps need to finish what people like Sid and my father started.
Suppose you're right, aye. And if we don't manage it, there's always them who come after us. Good thing we've got a few half-decent sorts waiting in the wings, eh? It's almost enough to give you a little bit of hope.
Just a little.
Anyway, enough nattering. Better get back to work. Let's see about making everyone some dinner, shall we? The least the folks who saved Eastpool deserve is a hot meal. And you and me ain't gonna save the world on an empty stomach neither.
That sounds like a wonderful idea.
Beautiful quest. Wonderful. Truly fun. We leveled up as well. We might actually hit max level before the end of the game. Not that that's going to be a difficult feat. I'm not, bragging by any means. I'm just saying I didn't expect it. I thought we'd finish the game somewhere around like level 30 when I found out that the max level was 40. But no, we're going beyond that. And it could be that the game, you just need to be that level to finish the game. And it's really good about if you're doing everything, it'll get you there without too much hassle. But there we go. That's our quest here dealt with. Now we can move on, and I said that we would do this one next, and that was kind of just an arbitrary decision, but we might as well just head over to Northreach and see what they're up to, what they're all about, what they want me to do. Words are hard sometimes. I do want to also check real quick, though, before we get into any sort of shenanigans. I wanted to see where we were in terms of ability points and whether or not there was anything we wanted to upgrade. The thing that I want to upgrade... Oh, Gold Snap is already mastered. How did I forget that? I was hoping it would get better, but I guess it doesn't get any better. Well, do we want to shuffle things around? Do we want to upgrade something over here, for example? Blind Justice is pretty much useless. Judgment Bolt is fun, but we can't upgrade it right now when we've already mastered... Oh, no, we're close to mastering. We can master Pile Drive. Pile Drive is great if you've got a lot of guys around you, like right next to you, but it's less useful if they're all at a bit of a distance. It's crazy that we've not mastered Gouge yet. And I'm thinking we probably should. I'm thinking we should probably also master Deadly Embrace, even though we don't really use it for anything. The only time we use Deadly Embrace is if we're trying to pull someone out of the air, or it's the same ability you use when you've got someone's stagger gauge halfway depleted to like yoink them to the ground, but I don't know if mastering it's going to help us any in that front. I say we go ahead and master Gouge. It's nuts that we haven't done that already. So there we go. There's that one taken care of. And then the direction we need to be going in for the actual mission. Oh, it looks like it's going to be down here with the gals, if you will. So I'm assuming it's going to be a very fun and completely appropriate quest line for all of us. Gather the family round. No awkward questions from anyone today, I hope.
And you're just going to fall into line.
It puts me to mind of the story. We need to get Jen on here. Because there's a funny story that put to mind that I'd like to tell, but I'd like her to be present for it.
Oh, Clive. What am I to do? My wards and I may soon be without a home.
What's happened?
The High Cardinal has descended from his lofty throne and taken up residence here in Northreach.
The High Cardinal?
Leader of the Council of Elders. Second only to his radiance at the head of the Imperial government.
Isn't the Imperial government basically non-existent now? Yeah, there we go.
Now he goes by his noble title, the Duke of Oriflamme.
And what does he want with Northreach?
He wants to transform it into a military stronghold, a foundation upon which to build a new Sambrec. He's already secured the support of the various army remnants, with promises that they shall be afforded the respect they deserve in his empire. One built on the confiscated property of the people.
He would rob the populace to pay for it.
Believe me, I have used every means of persuasion to discourage him from this folly.
I bet she has.
But for whatever reason, he will not listen to me.
What does Captain Philippe make of this? When the town was under attack, it was him the soldiers rallied around. Couldn't he use that influence again?
How? By speaking out against one of the most powerful men in Sambrec. A man whose stated aim is to revive the empire Philippe's comrades swore to serve, and to improve the soldiers' lot within it. The captain can offer them a regular supply of gruel, and an occasional trip to the Vale to help them forget the terrors they face each day. The Duke offers them a vision of strength and safety. No. Any attempt to incite mutiny would cost Philippe the support of his men, if it did not cost him his life. But given the mood around town, mutiny may yet be unavoidable. The people have little appetite for further deprivation, least of all when it serves only to elevate others.
And who could blame them?
Clive,
Would you appeal to the Duke on my behalf?
I thought this was going to be an
Services to
execution
Northreach.
mission. I thought this was going to be like
You
an
have the
assassination.
respect of the soldiers.
I was kind of
They
hoping
will
for
take
it.
you to His Eminence if you ask them.
Yeah, I guess I can go try to like
unlike
soft talk the
Philippe,
guy.
No bonds of loyalty prevent you from speaking your mind to the man. Well, will you try? You could hardly fare any worse than I did.
I disagree. I feel like you're probably more agreeable to speak to. I mean, look at us. That's not the face of a person who's going to be fun to talk to, is it?
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, Clive.
Clive as a
Tell
character
me then.
is kind of like
Will I
a
find this Duke of Oriflamme
cork coaster
in the
that's
garrison?
been
Overseeing the troops.
you've had like a glass of water sitting on it all day and
All
it's
right.
just gotten completely
Wish me luck.
swelled up with water. It's kind of just soggy and gross and brittle and falls apart if you pick it up too. Clive's not the best character, is he?
I may have met this Duke before.
It's not that interesting.
The remembrance ceremony. Let's hope I didn't make a strong impression.
I don't hate him. I certainly don't hate him. I just am of the opinion that there are some
already have
other characters in Final Fantasy lore that I find to be a little bit more interesting in terms of character. Do we recognize this man? He says we might have met him.
Oh, sorry about that. You're the dame's man, aren't you? You got some business with the captain?
No, actually. With the Duke. I was hoping I might be able to speak with him.
We're under orders not to let any civilians pass. But you should be all right. His Eminence has heard all about you and your heroics. Wait here. I'll go and ask.
Maybe that's a good sign. Maybe we've already gotten in with the guy.
So, you are the sellsword who lent his aid to the garrison. The Empire owes you a debt, and I shall see it repaid. But tell me, is it wealth that you seek, or favor?
Neither, Your Eminence. I thought only to inquire about your plan to turn Northreach into a stronghold.
Ah, I see. You are worried the expanded garrison will render your services redundant. Yet you needn't be. A proud fighting man like yourself shall always have a place here. Pride of place, in fact.
This guy doesn't come off as
For too long
pompous,
has
arrogant,
the
or
contribution
irritating.
of the noble soldier been under-reckoned. But no more. For it is they who shall see the Holy Empire rebuilt, beginning right here in Northreach.
Why here, Your Eminence?
The town has been fortunate enough to escape largely unscathed from the recent troubles. Her defenses are sound, and her garrison well prepared. Which is more than can be said for Oriflamme or Twinside. The Empire wants for a capital, and I believe Northreach to be the perfect place. With Caer Norvent as her citadel. Once we have seen to the refortification of both the town and the castle, we need only build a wall around both to create a city that would be the envy of the twins.
I don't mind this plan.
Plans are already underway for the construction. Soon enough, these thralls shall learn that they are no match for the might of Sanbreque.
I fear you underestimate how dangerous these creatures are, Your Eminence. Should they return in force, you will need all the people of Northreach to come together in defense of the town. Something they may be loath to do if they've been deprived of their worldly goods.
The people will do as their leaders command. If Sanbreque is to be rebuilt, she will require a functioning government. One whose authority is beyond question. That is why this levy is necessary. So that any man who wishes to join the army might do so and be fed, outfitted, and paid as befits a defender of the Empire. And yet there are those who persist in peddling the treasonous lie that I seek to steal from the people and drive them from their homes.
I suspect they're afraid of losing what little they have left.
Precisely.
I'm sorry, is her name Unyielding
Common folk
Spirit?
have little and less, and you mean to deprive them of even that? You would sow the seeds of your new empire in your own salted earth.
Sabine, we have discussed this.
Yes, and I told you then how putting the empire before her citizens would lead only to revolt.
Who's Sabine?
Without an empire, there are no citizens.
Aside from Ahsoka's
And
apprentice.
in yours, there will be only beggars. Is that what Griga wills for her people?
Do not take her name in vain, Sabine.
I'll come back later.
We're gonna bounce.
Citizens revolt.
This isn't our business.
I wonder what the people really think of the Duke's plan. It wouldn't hurt to ask them, I suppose. Let's begin with those on the other side of the wall.
Okay, that's fair. You folks been watching Ahsoka? Lucas, I know you're in the chat. Have you been watching Ahsoka? As a big Star Wars Rebels fan, it is like watching Star Wars Rebels 2.
He was the only one who survived.
But live action, and also kind of confusing because I don't. The locations look a lot like Rebels, and I've already accepted Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka, but I'm having trouble with the two other characters introduced so far. Just getting myself in the headspace of being like, no, this is Sabine, this is Hera. Although Hera was played by, and this was confusing. I'm gonna have to look up her name because I've already forgotten. Ahsoka cast. Yeah, Mary Elizabeth Winstead is apparently. Because when I looked at Hera, I was like, that doesn't look like Hera. Who does it look like? I can't figure it out. And then I looked it up, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's green Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I mean, I could look at her all day. Good gosh, can you blame me? What a treat for the eyes. But, you know, once we got into the second episode, I started to accept it a bit more. I'm interested to see where it goes.
I've been hearing a lot of talk about a certain Duke.
Nothing good, I'll wager. Going around acting like he owns the place. And with hardly a word to the dame. This is her town, not his.
I take it you'd rather she was in charge.
As far as I'm concerned, she still is. Just need his eminence to sod off back to Oriflamme.
Interesting. Are we going to try to sow dissent into the ranks? I mean, it sounds like dissent's already there, but are we going to try to like pull it together and have everyone
All right there.
stage some
you're
sort
after,
of like
sir?
protest?
Just your opinion, actually. I wondered what you thought of the Duke of Oriflamme.
Oh, him. Not much. None of us traders do. It's thanks to nobles like him that we had to set up shop this side of the wall in the first place. Couldn't have the rabble getting any closer to the holy capital, could they? And now he's trying to drive us out completely, threatening to take everything we got from us if we don't clear off. If the dame said she wanted him run out of town, I'd be straight through that checkpoint, tar bucket in hand.
Was that shouting I heard?
I'm starting to feel like there's a little bit of a consensus amongst the town folks regarding this individual. You tell me what you really think, Chocobo Keeper.
A question, if you don't mind. What do you think of the Duke of Oriflamme?
Don't get me.
Okay then, alright. Even the Chocobo didn't like him. You see that head shake?
Noble to turn up and tell you got to hand it all over to him. If he thinks his name and his chains give him the right to empty our purses, he's in for a rude awakening. We'll do whatever it takes to keep what's...
Yeah!
Whatever it takes.
Let's go dump some tea into the ocean. That'll show him.
United enough. What about the soldiers?
See, the soldiers, I'm assuming, are going to have a very different position on the matter. Because he's basically saying, hey, join me and I'll steal from all your neighbors to make your lives comfortable and easy. And I feel like most soldiers are going to hear that and go, okay then. You know, who's going to argue that? Like, especially if you're already like in the service and things are pretty tight right now because the empire that pays you has fallen, and then this guy shows up and is like, you want a comfy life, man?
Excuse me, do you have a moment?
Is this guy a soldier?
I wondered if you'd mind sharing your thoughts on the Duke of Oriflamme.
Well, he's made a lot of enemies coming in the way he did. But I mean, look around us. You can see the state the realm's in. The traders might not like having the screws put on them, but if they volunteered a few more of their hard-earned gil before things got bad, maybe they wouldn't have to. I think the Duke's got a point when he says rebuilding the Empire's the best way of making sure we're all protected. And if that means people who don't know one end of a sword from another have to make way for those who do, well, that's just how it goes.
Interesting. It didn't say he was a soldier, it just said he was a townsperson.
It's not only
which is interesting, and he seems to be more or less okay with things, which is interesting. It did specifically say, let's see how the soldiers feel about things, though. So let's head down here to where the soldiers are actually located. And if this is not a soldier, so help me. No, yeah, this is what we're looking for.
You. You're the one who was talking to His Eminence.
Cynical soldier.
On the Dame's behalf, yes. I was trying to persuade him not to take the people's goodwill for granted, but it seems my words fell on deaf ears. What do you think of his plans?
I'm a soldier, mate. He tells me what to do, not the other way round. Listen, I've got nothing but respect for the Dame, but I've got a family to look after. That's where my loyalties lie, not with the town or the Empire, but with my wife and children. If the Duke can get us the men and the equipment we need to fight off those blue-skinned bastards, I don't care how he does it.
Alrighty then. Sounds like he's basically made his mind up about the situation.
Sabine, you are embarrassing me.
Oh, they're still going.
Embarrassing yourself.
But that's it. That's all they're saying. Okay.
I hear the Duke of Oriflamme plans to turn this town into some sort of fortress. Do you think that's a good idea?
It's not for me to say. All I know is that unless the Emperor orders me otherwise, His Eminence's word is law. Look, no one likes all these taxes and tariffs, but empires don't come for free. Once Sanbreque is back on her feet, we'll all reap the benefits.
Easy to say when you're the one reaping the benefits in the short term.
Let's see what Philippe makes of all this.
I would love to just go find the young... I guess he's Emperor now, isn't he? The Emperor's son. Surely he's the Emperor-elector, or the heir apparent, perhaps would be the correct term. Where is he at, and why don't we see how he feels about all this? Surely he has final say on the situation.
Captain, do you have a moment?
For you? Certainly. Clive, wasn't it? Thank you for last time. How can I help you?
I wanted to ask you about the Duke of Oriflamme. Do you intend to go along with his plan?
But to tell you the truth, I'm in two minds. It's my sworn duty as a captain of the Imperial Army to obey his orders. But I can't say I agree with him.
Philippe, I remember you saying that you became a soldier to protect the people you loved. The Dame included.
That's right, I did.
Well, she doesn't agree with the Duke's orders either. She thinks they could tear Northreach apart.
And she's probably right. Thank you, Clive. I know what I need to do now. Protecting the people I love is what matters. Doesn't matter how. Well, duty calls, so I better go. Thanks again.
So...
Seems Philippe wants to do the right thing at least. I expect Isabel will be pleased to hear that, if nothing else.
Is secret assassination plot on the table or not? Because I'm starting to feel like it's not, and I feel like it should. I feel like it should be on the table because I'm pretty sure we could manage that. We definitely have the skills necessary to... Well, no, we don't have any stealth abilities whatsoever. But we could definitely just go kick the door in and, like, cut the guy's head off. No one would be able to stop us.
Clive, how did you fare? Were you able to speak with the...
No.
I was...
Oh, no, yeah, we were. We weren't able to persuade him, though. Which I'm assuming we're telling you now during a fade to black.
So Northreach is to be a fortress after all. Well, it will certainly help to hold back the thralls. There's no denying that. Though I doubt it will come as much consolation to the townspeople whose worldly goods are confiscated to pay for it. They deserve to be heard, Clive. To have a say in this new empire the Duke means to build.
Sadly, His Eminence values their obedience more than their opinions. and hopes to reassert the authority of the state. I fear he sees the people as mere pawns on his chessboard to be sacrificed for the greater good. Needless to say, they themselves are of a different opinion, and would rather their destinies were in your hands. The soldiers, meanwhile, are content to follow their orders. And not just because of the Duke's rank, but because of his vision.
I thought as much. Had I sworn to protect Sanbreque, I dare say I too would want nothing more than to see it rise from the ashes. Thank you for trying. But the battle is lost.
I don't know about that.
Rebellion?
What happened to your uniform?
I handed it in, along with my resignation.
Oh?
Told the lads I wished them well, but that I owe it to those I love to call it a day.
But why?
Because I realize what really matters to me. Not following some nobleman's orders for the sake of it, but protecting what I care about. Protecting Northreach. I honestly don't know when those monsters will return, but I'm certain they're not finished with us yet. And when they do come back, we need to be ready for them. We need to stand together, all of us. And with you to lead us, milady, I reckon we can do it. It was you who finally convinced me, Clive. There's no point following orders if they go against everything you believe.
Indeed.
All of us, standing together. That has always been Northreach's best hope, and one which still lies within our grasp. We have only to turn our attentions to the true enemy. Thank you, Philippe, for showing me what I must do.
Anything for you, milady. Speaking of standing together, would you mind if I borrowed a few of the lads from the Vale to help keep watch around the town? I fear His Eminence has loftier tasks in mind for the guard.
Not at all. Be my guest.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Well then.
There may be hope for Northreach yet. Especially with men like you and Philippe to champion our cause. I, for my part, shall continue to work upon the Duke, in the stubborn belief that I might still tempt him into joining hands. But I suspect I shall have to call upon your aid again. Until then, Clive.
Until then.
So I guess we'll come back and do more of this later. It definitely feels like things are not finished here. We did not wrap up the situation. It's just laying some groundwork. And I do love a quest that has a bit of meat on the bones, like a good quest line, a side quest line. Although that one's not sort of the most engaging. The one in Lost Wing, that one was fantastic. Are you kidding me? People creeping around out in the woods, an ancient enemy returning to do battle with... Oh, so good. It's so good. The town got flooded. Something actually changed in the game world as a result of that side quest. That one was great. This one's just kind of a little bit more political, in nature. Kind of just, well, it's fine. We'll see where it goes. It might end up going to, like I said earlier, a rebellion, which could be a great time. Are you kidding me? Leading the people of a village in a revolt against this guy?
That, you naughty thief! And that! Stop it, Renz! It's dangerous!
He's got a stick. What's dangerous about it? I don't think he can hurt anybody.
Clive.
He's gone now as well. He's faded out of existence for the sake of a cutscene. I guess it was dangerous.
Since we brought everyone together, all is absolutely wonderful. Conrad and Natalie's hands remain safely away from each other's throats, and firmly.
Oh no, the kids are back. Good.
Our stores are full, and the bandits still too disorganized to raid them. Just as the good Lady Jane and Lord Underhill intended.
Are you a lord? Lubor's going to be one too. They're going to make him the Lord of Dalimil, because of how he stopped all the grown-ups from fighting.
It's the mayor of Dalimil, dear child, and the vote hasn't taken place just yet. But if the people wish me to lead them, I shall. And my first act will be to build a school so that menaces like you two learn not to interrupt your elders. Speaking of menaces, there may be a rather worrying one just over the horizon.
May there indeed.
I'm afraid the example Conrad and Natalie set in putting aside their differences and presenting a united front might have caught the bandits' attention. And they might have elected to take a similar approach. They have formed what one could call a League of Outlaws, and they grow more organized by the day.
But we'll fight them all off just like last time, no matter how many of them there are. Won't we, Lubor?
Of course we will. If we continue to work together, we can overcome any challenge we choose to face. The longer we avoid facing this one, the more difficult it will be. Until the only way to overcome it might be to run for the hills. Our best hope is to nip these efforts at organization in the bud, by finding those ne'er-do-wells who have yet to join the cause, and ensuring that they never do. Perhaps a certain Lord Underhill might be willing to lend us his aid once more?
I'm great at persuasion.
How could I refuse?
Thank you, my lord. Victor will fill you in on the particulars. I have him stationed by the desert gate, receiving and collating reports from my scouts. Such an amenable soul. He reminds me of you.
Which of the gates is the desert gate? All of the gates in this town release into the desert. There's not a single one of these that leads to like a nice tropical forest. This is the one I would have guessed, though.
League of Outlaws.
This one goes directly out into the dunes.
Like we have some competition.
Which is the most desert form of desert. What's up, buddy?
Still in Dalamil, Victor?
Ah, Sid.
I thought you'd have returned to Cosnis by now.
I did. Then I came back. I've developed something of a fondness for the place. And having worked so hard to see it saved from one fate, it would seem remiss to abandon it to another. A sentiment Master Lubor certainly isn't shy about exploiting. Hence my doing his bidding yet again.
You're not the only one.
What does he want you to do?
He asked for my aid in putting down the bandits. And he said that you might be able to help me find them.
Then you've come at just the right time. I was on my way to speak with Conrad about how to organize our forces. There are more camps in the vicinity than we can safely strike at once. But we must strike together, and we must strike soon at as many camps as we can. We can't give this league of theirs time to rally its forces.
All right. Which camp shall I take?
There's one upriver. Just out there, across the dunes.
Leave it with me.
I can definitely manage that. See, this is what I'm good at. I'm not good at... When I say me, I do mean Clive. Clive is not good at trying to negotiate with the royal hoity-toity types. You know what he is good at, though? He's just beating the snot out of folks. And we're, like, so good at that. This is definitely a better use of his abilities. Trying to go around and talk to, like, a duke and convince him out of his own self-aggrandizing ideas. Self-aggrandizing? Does that make sense? His delusions of grandeur. I think he thinks he's going to be the next emperor. Bless him, he doesn't realize the heir apparent's still running around out there. And listen,
that must be the camp.
This here, this is what we can do,
on, then, Toggle.
And we can do it on Chocobo back. No, we can't. The Chocobo will not allow that. The Chocobo has no interest in this combat encounter. Watch this. I don't even have to fight them. I can just do this. Is that everyone defeated? Okay, there's like 3 guys left. Okay, never mind. There's more guys coming. That's fine. We can do this. And then while they're all occupied, we'll turn our attention back to these guys. They didn't have much left to deal with in the first place.
Stay down!
Come on, take your swing. I'm ready. Do it. Whoa! There was an explosive on the ground, like literally right next to me. Go on, take your swing. I'm ready for it. Come on, go ahead. I'm excited. Let's see it. Do your worst. Whoa! Okay, so that doesn't count because I got distracted from that guy over there shooting a spell at me, which I did deftly evade, I want to throw out there. That time I didn't. That time I did not deftly evade it. Let's get him on his on the ground first off. And let's take him out of this. Because you never know when he's going to go from throwing firebolts to to, like, healing everyone. All right, Torgal's got that guy taken care of. That's all I've wanted to do this whole time, was perform a permafrost. With that out of the way, we can go back to just killing these guys normally. And it kind of feels like this is going to be it. Okay, well, that was super quick and easy. Barely an inconvenience. Will there be more? I would like for there to be more. That was over way too soon, and we didn't even get any sharp fangs out of it.
I'd better let Victor know.
Sid, where are you?
Speak of the devil. Did your other guy fail?
I see the bandits didn't pose you any trouble.
No, but that's not why you're here, is it?
If they had and they'd killed me, you would have just run to their camp.
Something's happened. We need you back in Dalimil.
What is it?
The whole town's in uproar. They're saying that Lubor is a bearer.
No!
Seems that one of our parties wasn't as thorough as they should have been. They let one of the bandits escape, and his escape route took him right through Dalimil. Some of the children spotted him, and he was about to silence them. And when Lubor felled him with a bolt of magic, and without a crystal.
But that's not possible.
It is, if he's a bearer and has been hiding it all these years, which is what people are saying. If he has, well, I wouldn't blame him. No man is branded by choice. Still, all those people see is a man who's lied to them all his life. One who was made a leader of himself when the world believed he should have been a slave.
Fuck.
I don't know where we go from here, but I know one thing. Lubor needs all the friends he can get right now.
Absolutely.
You're right.
I'm ready to rally to his side. Let's go run in and tell everybody they're being, oh, okay, we don't actually have to run. We'll just kind of saunter in a cutscene. I was expecting to hear more people shouting. This is a pretty chill
and now everyone
uproar.
Knows. I made it a habit to keep a crystal close at hand for just such an occasion. And when that occasion arose, I forgot to reach for it. Well, it was bound to come out sooner or later.
He's pretty jovial about it.
We're sorry, Lubor. We tried to keep running, but we just couldn't anymore.
There's nothing to be sorry for. I rather enjoyed playing the hero for once. All that matters to me is that you two are safe.
Look at him talking to his betters like it's nothing. All lies, I'll wager. Just like the ones he fed us all these years.
Once people make up their minds, it's hard to change them. We need to do something, and quickly. Convince the people not to let their prejudices blind them. Convince them that nothing has changed. That their enemy lies outside these walls, not within them.
You're right. We should speak to everyone.
I'm glad you agree. I'll handle the townsfolk. I'm a Dalmec born and bred. They listen to me. You head to the tavern. Make Conrad and Natalie remember who Lubor really is.
Okay, again, I'm not good at this sort of thing.
And I are friends. I might not make for the most impartial of interlocutors. Lord Underhill of Randalar's League of Merchants, however, is a trusted and impartial mediator of note.
I'll do what I can. Lubor, stay here with the children. I can't promise anything, but we'll try.
And that is all I can ask of you.
So you want me to go deal with decades and decades, if not centuries, of prejudice?
Playing us for fools.
Okay, sure. We'll be able to hack this out in a single
Forgive me for
conversation.
disturbing you, but could I have a moment of your
Keeping in mind that we're also a bearer.
I've seen your face before.
As have I, Lord Underhill, wasn't it? Of the League of Merchants.
That's right. I wanted to speak to you about Lubor.
The rumors that he's a bearer. All true, I'm afraid.
He'll never be mayor now. Not if I have anything to do with it.
But what of his wares? Bearer or no, his steel is highly valued throughout the Republic. In this, at least, he's done the town a service. Might that not earn him a little leniency?
Leniency? He pretended to be one of us when he was laughing behind our backs all the while.
I'm sorry, my lord, but he lied to us. He lied to you. He cannot be trusted.
So what do you propose? Will you drive him from his home? Close his forge?
Perhaps. That is a question for the people of Dalimil, and they will thank you not to get involved.
Oh, yeah, we did so well on that front. Such a great job. Very persuasive.
The townsfolk have made their minds up. There was nothing I could do.
Nor I. Conrad and Natalie refused to consider anything but their own wounded pride.
You never know. Once their anger is cooled, they might see things differently. For now, we should report back to Lubor.
All right.
Why the hell would Victor take the bearers' side?
I don't know what to do with these people.
I assume the situation is hopeless?
There's still hope. But...
It's sad because it really does do a really good job for
persuading. I think it's fair to say.
Well, let's let this play out.
You mustn't think like that, Lubor. Give them time. They'll come around. We'll talk some sense into them in the end, you'll see.
No, you won't. And your efforts would be better spent elsewhere.
But Lubor...
Rosina would often tell me that steel does not lie, that a blade is a reflection of the smith who forged it. To yourself be true, that was her point. Rather an ironic one when you consider that her life was taken with a blade of her own making. But I do not doubt that she was always true to herself and what she believed in, right to the end. And so must I be. I must do what I know to be right, no matter what others might think of me. And now, I know what that is. I must embrace my new role of villain so that the people of Dalimil have something to unite against.
Oh, buddy.
For only united can they hope to stand against the threat that awaits them. I'll need to make a suitably dramatic exit, of course.
Don't go, Lubor. You're the only one who was ever kind to us. We'll be all alone. Again.
Trust me, little ones. It is for the best that I go. Not only for the town, but for you, too.
How could it possibly be for the best? These children need you. The least you can do is give the townspeople a chance to change their minds.
They would not take it, Victor. It's over.
Over, you say? And so just like that, you're going to throw this town and these children to the wolves? I thought you were better than this. But it seems you had me fooled as well.
Victor.
Forget it. Do what you will.
You sure you're making the right choice, Lubor?
Of those available to me, I believe it's the best one. Yes. Ah, but where are my manners? Here. Your reward for clearing out that bandit camp. Right then. I have packing to do.
If there's anything I can do. Anything.
I'll bear it in mind. Thank you.
I'm assuming we'll find him somewhere else at some other point. This isn't over yet. There is still the possibility that something might happen. Maybe the bandits come back and he uses all of his strength and his abilities as a bear to ward them out, and the townsfolk have their moment where they say, "Oh, we were wrong. He's still the guy we knew and cared about, and he still fought for us even when we were ready to get rid of him." I mean, maybe I'm giving them too much credit, and maybe there won't be a moment like that, but I'd like to think there will be. What I was going to say earlier, by the way, we're heading to Tabor now for the next quest. What I was going to say is, what's most frustrating about this is that this game does a great job of portraying real life Are you prejudices really well, which is part of what makes it so frustrating, because you just see these people are like, wait, I didn't know this about you. I hate you now. And you're like, that's dumb. But, oh, wait, no, that's that's life, isn't it? It's sad and it's frustrating, but also clearly I need to be, if not inside here, then on the other side, maybe? I don't know if I knew this was a building you could go in. I certainly can't see anything. Oh, here we go. Okay, I'm not going to read that. It doesn't matter. Hi there.
Lord Rosfield, is there aught the Undying might assist you with this day?
Perhaps. My brother said that your order was helping him with his quest to uncover Ultima's origins. Have you learned anything of note since last we spoke?
Little and less, I regret to report.
We have reason to believe he was created.
Be assured, however, that
another
we will
dimension,
not rest until the truth is known.
on a plane known as Yarth.
Our archaeologians scour ruins in every corner of the realm for traces of Ultima's touch.
By an arcane organization.
Foreign ruins, I take it.
Known as
dating
Square
back as far
Enix.
as Phoenix Gate.
Indeed. Ultima's thralls are oft sighted among the remnants of the fallen civilization, as if protecting the secrets concealed within.
Secrets we'd see unearthed.
Should our methods be of interest, my lord, mayhap it would please you to observe some of our number at work.
Would that be possible?
Of course. A survey is being conducted not far from here. Perchance you are familiar with Kretov, a small hamlet built around a fallen airship. I was due to visit my colleagues there to collect their preliminary findings, but if you would consent to do so in my stead, I'm sure that they would be honored to relate any discoveries they have made to you directly.
Absolutely.
All right. I'll go and meet with them.
They will be most gratified, I am sure. Might I suggest you take the road through Titan's Wake? It will lead you straight to the village after but a short walk.
Thank you. I will.
I wish you a safe journey, my lord. May the Firebird's flames burn ever in your heart.
Interesting turn of phrase. Could just call it a phoenix. Firebird is fine too.
A village built around an airship. Sounds like another Lost Wing.
Wasn't that a Pontiac?
Just as friendly.
Was it called the Firebird? The Trans Am, isn't that? Hold on. What is the Pontiac? It's basically just a Camaro. Hold on. Pontiac. Yeah, Firebird. It is. It's just a Camaro. And then the Trans Am was the one that my dad had a Trans Am. That was like the Z28. Was it? Hold on, I got to get that number right. Camaro Z. What is the? Helps if you spell Camaro correctly. Yeah, Z28. It's a shame that they're doing away with the Camaro. That's a big rip right there, and the Challenger as well. The Mustang is the last to endure, but look what they've done with the Mustang. Have you seen the Mach-E? I don't mind that there's an electric Mustang. I mind that they made the ugliest car to ever exist. Which isn't the first time they've done that. Just if you're bored, look up pictures of the Mustang 2. And I will warn you to have a can nearby for you to vomit into, because it's one of the most hideously ugly cars to ever exist. And people will argue with me about this, but the Fox body was no better. I get people who like it from a performance standpoint, but the Fox body Mustang is an abomination. I hate it. I hate that it exists. What's new with the Mustang lately? What's a 2025 Mustang looking like? 2025 Mustang GTD. What is this? What is a GTD? Hot dang! What? Whoa! What is? Oh my gosh! This thing looks ridiculous. Supercharged 2.8 liter V8 engine. The Ford Performance engineered 5.2 liter V8 engine with 8-speed dual clutch transmission is tuned for monstrous potency on pavement, targeting more than 800 horsepower that's ready to conquer the streets and the track. 800. Unapologetically American spirit. Hell yeah. $300,000 starting price. Are you kidding me? This is the most expensive Mustang ever made, I have to assume. The Mustang GTD features exceptional concierge service from the Mustang GTD team. Each is hand-delivered to your home and comes with access to GTD owner experience. What? This thing is incredible. How did I not know this existed? This is my new life goal. This is my new life goal, to own one of these. Someday, that would be great. This thing is incredible. But what about just the regular old, I guess 2024 Mustang is probably the model that's in dealerships at the time. It just is like a Mustang. I mean, it's definitely been evolved since 2015 when they upgraded from the S197. Is that what it is? Hold on. S197. Yeah, that's what I have. I have an S197. Sorry, we're just looking at Mustangs now. And there's the my brother has an S197 II, and then the S550 is what replaced it. I'm assuming this is also an S550, just it's evolved. They're looking good. I kind of like these a bit more, these newer ones. I like a big intake. So if I wanted to get one of them, I mean, starting at 30 grand. Inflation's killer, man. $30,000 starting price for an EcoBoost is crazy. That is unreal to me. It's a clean looking car though. It looks good. It's a good looking car. Oh, they've got like a big touchscreen now. That's cool. This one's got 2 big touchscreens. Why? What's the point of that? Why do you need 2 of them? Why not just one? It's a bit absurd. It's a good-looking car, though. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. Sorry. All right. No. What are we doing? Are we in Tabor? Wait. What? Hold on. Duty undying. Make for. Wait. Hold on. What's happening? Oh, we already accepted the quest. I got so distracted there. I don't even know how that happened. How did I end up looking for a Camaro? Oh, Firebird! It's all coming back to me now. It's all coming back to me. I remember accepting the quest. I remember what we're supposed to be doing. Give me a Chocobo, please. I need a Chocobo. Give me a Chocobro. Gosh. Oh man, cars though. I love a Mustang.
Faster!
Is this the correct way to go? Wait, no, this is no, this is the way we came from. That was a mistake. Give me back my Chocobo. Oh, good gosh. Run like the gilded path, indeed, man. Okay, time to get focused. Time to stay on track. Can't let our minds wander here, left or right. Definitely this direction. Was there no fast point? I guess we could have gone to Dravaz or Dravazd.
All right.
Gone from there and maybe made a slightly quicker journey. It is what it is, though. It's fine. Ugh. I used to have a playlist. I don't have it anymore. It's probably still on like my iTunes on my computer, but it was just every song that had appeared in a Mustang commercial, or that was about a Mustang, or that was in some way even tangentially related to Mustangs. And I used to play it when I would drive around in my car. And boy, did I feel like some hot stuff, man. So I have a lot of really cringe memories that I absolutely love from my youth. One of which was cruising through a Walmart parking lot with my friend Trace. I almost said my Trace friend. My friend Trace, he and I. Windows rolled down in my car, blaring Handlebars. Very cringe looking back on it, but something, I mean, that's a memory I wouldn't trade for the world. You know what I mean? Also, wait, can we get down here? It looks like the path is, first off, going that way is not going to get us anywhere. And it looks like, oh, wait, did he tell us to go over here? I think he told us to go to the Gilded Path and then go from there. I have a vague memory of that. He gave us clear instructions and I disregarded them entirely. I got distracted thinking about Mustangs. We used to do stuff like that all the time.
Faster!
Go roll up and down the road and just like try to find people who'd like want to race us, you know, like idiots. Like you do when you're young and dumb, you know, over a decade ago. It's funny now though, because I oftentimes joke that I'm quite old. I'm only 30, but I oftentimes do joke, like, oh, I'm so old now. But I do kind of feel old in certain circumstances. I'll pull up to a stoplight and some kid will pull up next to me and start revving his engine, and I'm like, boy, first off, you don't stand a chance. I've got this thing souped up. Second, I got eggs in the back. I just want to go home and make myself an omelet, all right? I don't even eat omelets, but, you know, just as an example, just leave me be. Stop acting a fool on the road. Buckle up. Shut up. Turn on a podcast. Turn down your music. Kids these days. Ugh, the worst. I think I would find 17-year-old me to be very obnoxious. Oh, I can't imagine 17-year-old me walking through the door right now and being like, hey, do you want to talk about cars? Like, no, I don't. I can't imagine caring. I just don't. That is one of those things where it's like, you know, you have an interest that you either kind of outgrow or not even really outgrow, because you can be older and have an interest in cars, but it's like you as a person, your interests have changed, but other people don't catch on to it. And so they keep trying to, like, hey, I get this a lot from my parents. They'll be like, hey, look at this car thing or listen to this car story. And I'm like, oh, I don't care. I don't need to hear about it. Please, it's very boring, and I assure you I don't care. It's like their idea of me as a person froze when I was about 17, and they don't recognize that I've changed at all. Wait, what is this place? Okay, I guess it's a fade to black is what it is. Oh, everyone's dead. Everyone's been slaughtered. Not by a Kashyyyk from the looks of things, because there's no ether swirls around here.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, it's these boys.
You'll pay for this.
I'm not sure if they're capable of understanding the concept of vengeance, Clive. I'm going to be honest with you. I think they're just mindless robots doing their duty. We're getting mad at them for their programming, but they didn't choose their programming.
There may still be survivors.
Oh, no, there definitely is. We'll just go ahead and finish them off like this, though.
Enough.
There we go. Oh, maybe he meant in the village there might still be survivors. I thought he meant out of that little group that we just sent up into a swirling, twirling whirlwind. But no, I think he meant maybe someone over here. Well, that's like definitely
whatever that thing
boss.
Is. I'd say it's their leader.
I'd say it's a fool's gold. Okay, yeah, no, we got to get the timing down on these dodges. Even if they're not perfect, so long as we're not getting hit, I think that matters way more than getting the timing, like, perfect. Yeah, no, see, that's after we've already been hit, Clive. That doesn't work. That doesn't benefit us any. Perfect. See, now we're getting into it. Now we're getting somewhere. All my fingers have, like, synced back up. Everything's feeling good again. We've got this. I think we're going to defeat this guy without taking even one more hit. We're immediately going to get hit now. Even if I try my best to not, we're immediately going to get hit. There's no avoiding it. I shouldn't have said anything. Yeah, nope, there it is. Wait, no, we don't need more enemies. He doesn't need help. That's not necessary. See, that when you get that perfect dodge out of the way, like, that's when you can start doing these really fun things. Take care of this, guys? Like, little, like, Johnny-come-latelys showing up here to try to help him out? Let's get rid of them. Yeah, this was super simple. It's very straightforward. I do see that treasure back there. We are going to go pick that up. We got to kill this guy, though. I've not taken any potions, and I'm not going to. I refuse. This is going to get us a little way towards being healed. And then as soon as this is like, we're coming out of this, we're going to go ahead and hit him with the wind-up, which I didn't charge up properly. Why did I not charge it up properly? We could have absolutely defeated him just then. There we go. Just a moment is all we needed. Just a slight respite. Embarrassing, though. We should have finished him off sooner. I think we're just about at the correct amount of not class points, but ability points or whatever they're called, to upgrade whatever I said we were going to upgrade the last time we looked at them. Enough time has passed since earlier in this video, I no longer remember.
These must be Cyril's colleagues.
You have our thanks, stranger.
Oh, good. Like 3 survived. They all
Who are you?
have the same character model, basically, but with different facial hair. Tell me I'm wrong.
Forgive me, my lord. I did not recognize you. You are Lord Rosfield, are you not? We are archaeologians, tasked with surveying this site. When the echoes appeared, our brothers here occupied their attentions. Thanks to them, and to you, we were, for a mercy, able to see our duty to its conclusion.
You call that a mercy? Your brothers might still be alive if you put their safety before your duty. Surely this survey wasn't worth dying for.
We are charged with uncovering Ultima's origins, a duty of the highest import, as I'm sure you will agree.
And you think your dead brothers would agree with you too?
I know they would. They gave their lives for the cause, an honor to which all Undying aspire. Now, to what do we owe the honor of your presence, Lord Marquis?
Cyril told me of your work here, and I agree to collect your findings in his stead.
I see. That is most kind. Pray, take them then, with our humble thanks. May the Firebird's flame burn ever in your heart, as it does in ours.
It's one thing to lay down your life for another, but for a survey... I suppose I'd better get this back to Cyril.
Yes, but first let's collect the loot. Ooh, Wyrite. Super handy. We have to figure out how to get back inside of here. I don't know if it's as dark on the screen as it is for me. This room is incredibly dark. There could be a treasure chest in that corner and I wouldn't be able to see it because all of this just looks the same. Maybe I have too much ambient light on in here. I mean, my screen doesn't have great... like, if the scene is dark, it's just barely anything. I don't know how to describe that.
Collected your colleagues' preliminary findings. Here, take them.
My thanks. I shall study them, and inform you forthwith if I discover aught that might aid you in your fight against Ultima.
Cyril, your survey party suffered several losses in Kretov. Losses which could have been avoided, had the others not chosen to complete their work, instead of saving their friends. Were these your orders?
No. This was their choice. Every Undying devotes his life to the service of the Phoenix. It is our sole duty, and should we die in discharging it, so be it.
Even when death is avoidable.
My lord, I fear that this is not a point over which it would be fruitful to argue. The Undying have served the Phoenix for countless generations, and your opinion of our methods, however earnest, is not like to change them. We live to serve the Phoenix. Our very order exists for that purpose, and that purpose alone.
Cyril, I know that you and your brethren answer only to Joshua, but allow me to offer you a word of advice. It does not further the cause of the Phoenix to have his loyal followers surrender their lives without good reason. Provide your survey parties with an escort, that they might live to do their duty for years to come. Think not only of how you can serve the Phoenix, but how Joshua would want you to serve him. Please. For all our sakes.
I thank you for your advice, my lord.
That sounds
if you will
not at all
to respond.
Committal.
Our faith in his grace, Joshua Rossfield, is absolute. And we of the Undying will do what we believe is right to fulfill our duty unto him. As first shield to the Phoenix, I am sure you understand what it means to do one's duty.
I do.
Then we are of the same mind. And it is my hope that we may continue to do our duty together.
What did that mean? What was that supposed to mean? I don't feel like it's an unreasonable request to say, hey, why don't you send along someone to just like, keep an eye on these guys, you know? It's not like it impedes them in doing their duty in any way to just have a guy with a sword there with them. Absolutely absurd. Absolutely ridiculous. It is what it is, though. We did get a new fast travel point out of that. And I believe the thing that we wanted to upgrade was somewhere around here. Wasn't it only like 400 some odd? What are you? Yeah, Deadly Embrace. Oh, there we go. We've mastered it. Why not? I don't know to what end, but we might as well have. It doesn't really behoove us to master those abilities because they can't follow us into other loadouts necessarily. You have to have the goodness, you hear that? You have to you have to have the wind loadout base in order to have that ability, but that's totally fine. That's completely fine. What are we doing here? What's the quest? Oh, wait a minute. Okay, let's see if we can. Is it this guy? Is it what's his name? It's Theodore. Okay, so remember when we last left off with Theodore, he was talking about how his sister was given a business opportunity that she turned down to continue doing her duty to save the bearers and kind of smuggle them out of lives of servitude. And he wants to change that. He wants her to accept the business opportunity to pursue her own happiness, and I don't know if his plan is to take over her work or just find someone else to take over it, but let's find out together.
Clive, you'll be pleased to know that the negotiations are progressing well.
That is good news.
Yes. Our comrade in Randala has just sent word that the contract should be signed very soon. But I still have much and more to prepare. It's a huge undertaking moving this many bearers at once. You couldn't do me a quick favor.
So this actually has nothing to do with that. This is about moving all of the bearers to that new, old, abandoned city that they're going to be living in.
What is it this time? More wild beasts?
Nothing like that. I just need you to go over to the caravans and ask El how long we have until the bearers arrive. Find out exactly how much faster I need to get all these supplies moved.
All right. I'll go and ask.
Thanks, Clive. I owe you one.
You do. You owe me more than one. Maybe we're going to hear now from her point of view, whether or not. Maybe she's going to... Okay, it looks like she's talking to someone. Maybe we'll overhear a bit of the conversation. Maybe this has nothing to do with what was previously discussed.
Don't blame yourself, El. This is their fault, not yours. I know, but... No buts about it, all right?
Is something wrong?
Vonnie came to give me a message from our intermediary. The talks with the Republican army have fallen through. They've reached an agreement with the Silver Peak Consortium instead. Though prices have fallen of late, we deliberately offered above the going rate to try and deter other bidders. But the Consortium offered double what we did, and the army jumped at the chance.
And you had no opportunity to make a counteroffer?
None at all. And we were so close.
El? What's happened?
What? But if you could just walk over here, why didn't you just walk over here?
She didn't look happy.
And with good reason.
But I thought we were the only ones the Fist was speaking to about the bearers. How did the Consortium even find out about this?
It's not so surprising. They have ears all over the Republic. This isn't over. The Consortium will have to sell these bearers eventually, and at the price they paid, buyers will be few and far between. I'm going to Randalar myself.
Alone? You sure that's wise?
Are you offering to be my bodyguard? How kind. Meet me at the checkpoint near the capital gates. I'll send an owl ahead and request a meeting. You go to Cashlock, Theo, and get everything ready. We've waited far too long as it is. Even if I fail to free these bearers, there will be others. Someone needs to prepare the place and keep any prowling beasts at bay.
Oh, and that's me, is it? Well, it looks like I'm following orders till she gets back from meeting the Silver Peak Consortium, who've been doing their best to undermine our scheme. She'll never join them after this, surely. No, she said it herself. She still has plans for Cashlock, even if this one falls through. She means to stay with us, then. I can't say I'm not happy to hear it, but... is this what she really wants?
Okay, so we're back to this.
You have to trust her.
You're right. It's what she wants now. And if Elle's off fighting for the cause, I should do my part too. So I bid you farewell and safe travels, my friend. I'll gather my men and leave for Cashlock. We'll make sure the place is well stocked and defended. You go to Randala and see if you can stop my sister biting the Consortium's heads off. If she won't consider her prospects, someone has to.
I'll do my best. All right. To Randalar, then.
So...
I'd better not keep Eloise waiting.
Are we supposed to be keeping Eloise in line, or are we going to be engaging in some, as they might call it in Star Wars, aggressive negotiations, which is just negotiations with a lightsaber? Now, we don't have a lightsaber, but we do have a sword that can glow if we're using the appropriate abilities, and that's pretty similar, I should think. So is that the plan? Also, wait, where are we going? Have we been down here before?
Wouldn't give for
Are we going into the city proper?
Looks like
If we go into the big map, like the big world map, yeah, I'm assuming that's like here, right? More or less. Can we go in there? It looks like we're stopping outside the gates. Normally, the big capitals you can't return to. They're like off limits. They only exist for the story beats in which they are featured, and then afterward. Well, whoa! You just emerged from the shadows like some sort of creepy nightmare. Typically, you generally leave the city in some state of semi or complete destruction. So going back to them would be out of the question anyway. Be nice to though. It'd be cool if after the game, post-game, instead of doing the thing that a lot of these games will do post-game, which is just say, okay, you're back at moments before the end of the game, if instead it was like, okay, you did it, the world's saved, also we've opened these cities back up, you can go visit them. It'd be cool if you had like a post-game where you got to rebuild the cities. That would be pretty neat as well. I don't think we'll get that, but it would be kind of neat. Eloise, how you doing?
I hope I didn't keep you waiting. Did you arrange to speak with the Consortium?
Here they are now.
Okay, so they're just meeting us here in the desert.
You wish to consult with me?
I did. It's about the bearers you recently purchased from the Fist. We had all but finished making arrangements to buy them ourselves, and then you stepped into the fray.
You misunderstand. The Consortium had an interest in purchasing them from the very first. It was only our regard for you that kept us from bidding. But your hesitancy in accepting our offer to you suggested that the regard was not mutual. And so we resumed our business.
I did not hesitate. I am simply not inclined to make such decisions without first giving them due consideration. But what is done is done. Come then. How much do you want for them?
Alas, you are too late yet again. We rarely take on such unconventional merchandise without a purchaser in mind. The bearers belong to him.
Now, who is him?
Who is your buyer?
A trader from across the water. A most demanding fellow, if it's any consolation. He insisted the bearers be fed, dressed, even given their own bunks for the voyage over. That's what you get when you deal with continental types.
I wouldn't know.
Oh yes, the culture on the continent is quite different to ours. They pay good money for bearers not fit for the knacker's yard, and treat them like kings. But as long as they pay...
That does sound unusual. No matter then. If they've already left our shores, there's little that can be done. Allow me to withdraw my interest. And with it, my interest in joining your organization.
My associates will be sorry to hear that.
This is such a smarmy individual. They're doing a great job with his facial animations. 10 out of 10. The VA is doing great work as well. So, who bought them? Who do we think? They're saying continental types. Who what quantifies continental? Across the waters, who would that be?
As am I. But I only have myself to blame. He was right, you see. The Silver Peak Consortium did intend to buy those bearers before I did. Their representative hinted at a possible purchase when he came to recruit me. I feigned interest in joining them in the hope he might be encouraged to tell me more, and he did just that. As soon as he left, I sent my own offer to Randalar.
So you never...
No. I entertained the Consortium's proposal solely so I could learn more about those bearers.
I see.
But I was a fool to think they wouldn't find out. I knew exactly who I was dealing with.
You tried.
I did. And if what he said was true, the bearers are to be well treated. Which is something, at least. But they deserved more. I wanted so badly to see them freed.
Eloise! Eloise! Word from Cashlock. The village is under attack. A pack of beasts have come down from the mountains, and there's a dragon at its head. Theo and the others are trying to hold them off as best they can, but the odds are against them. They need help, and fast.
Theo!
I'll go on ahead.
Thank you, Clive. I'll gather some men and join you there. Just... make sure he's safe.
What does this have to do with anything else that's happened? It just seems abrupt. Suddenly, like that felt like the end of the quest, like, oh, we failed to get them, but at least they'll be treated well.
Hold on,
and then suddenly, there's an attack in the village. Very abrupt. Maybe they realized during playtesting, like, okay, this was a bit of a dull affair. At some point, we need Clive to show up and start swinging a sword. That is 90% of what this game is. That's what I figured out. It's 10% just listening to cutscene dialogue, and then 90% swinging your sword. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's quite fun. Maybe it's is it unfair to constantly, in my mind, compare this game to the only other Final Fantasy game that I've played, like, in the modern era, being Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I feel like is a perfect, almost flawless game. There's a couple of little things that sort of irritate me about it, but otherwise,
no need to write
it's such
from
a
here.
good game, and it does the balance of gameplay very well. There's combat, but the combat's got a good pace and it's rewarding, and I think the ATV system in that is really well thought out, and then the sort of interactions you have with different characters and the quests that you're doing are all really fun and engaging, and there's not a ton of side quests, but the ones that are there feel like they're substantial and have a purpose, and
Where's Theodore?
Upriver!
He led the dragon that way to keep it from the village, but the whole area's flooded with ether.
We just have to pray he makes it out in one piece.
I can do better than that. Torgal, with me.
What if he makes it out one piece, but that whole one piece is Akashic? Like, did you think about that there, buckaroo? I bet you didn't. See, we want to avoid that. That would be a less than fortunate outcome, especially since we don't know of a cure for that, although I'm assuming there probably is one. Once we become the master of all the ethers, the master of all the elements, once we become the Avatar, we should be able to go into the Avatar state and extract the ether from his body and restore... Oh, look at that, a scorpion. Hi, come here, you. Come here. You come over here, and then you also come over here. Ah! Perfect, except that was supposed to kill them both, and it didn't. Maybe that needs to be the next one we fully upgrade, because it's quite fun.
You lose!
I'm starting shouting that at people whenever I'm playing like a board game or something. You know, as soon as I've defeated them, just, you lose! And then I flipped the entire board game all off the table. I did that once. I remember getting so mad that I lost once, I flipped everything off the table. And I got in so much trouble for it. Because it was just like a card match game I was playing with my mom. And they were like, you will not behave like this ever again. And gosh darn it, I never have. So kudos to my parents for being good parents. A lot of y'all should be taking notes, because some of you ain't raised your kids right. They're bad winners and bad losers. Although, again, I will stand by the idea of shouting, you lose! At the end of a game. That's pretty funny. Is he dead? Is he going to be dead? Is he being stalked right now? I definitely see monsters, but I don't see him. Are we going to get a cutscene, or is it just straight into combat here? Looks like it's straight into combat.
The ether's too thick. These creatures have already turned.
that second round. Good lordy! That second round gets him every time. It's so good. Is it just this guy left? There's going to be reinforcements. There's bound to be. I can't imagine a world where there aren't, and that's fine. No, there's going to be a boss is what there's going to... What if the boss is a Kasich Theodore?
I need to find Theodore before that dragon does.
I mean, you assume the dragon's going to be the boss, but Theodore had better not be dead. So help me.
It's found me. This thing's turned as well. This isn't going to be easy.
No, I can see that. It's quite large. Jeez, he's been frozen for a while. I'm not upset about it, I'm just saying. It was a good long time there, wasn't it? And here we go again! This ability is overpowered. I can't believe that this made it into the game. This is the single most overpowered ability in the entire game. The fact that it works on bosses too, I'm not mad. If it didn't, that would be so disappointing. It's completely changed the dynamic of the game. For the best, as far as I'm concerned. My enjoyment of the game since unlocking Cold Snap has gone up exponentially. Is it because it makes the game easier? Yes. I will not lie. That is 100% the reason. But come on, it's a good ability. You can't deny that. You'd be a fool to deny it. It's very satisfying to use. Confused about what that was supposed to be? Was that just an ability that pushes you back? Oh, dang it, alright. We're having some trouble getting in some good timed dodges. But that's not a problem with the ability, it's 100% a problem with me getting in those good timed dodges. Oh, here we go. Wait a minute. It's hard to dodge when you can't see what he's doing. Get away from that. Get away from that. We know to get away from that. Oh, wreck me sideways. So close to being staggered again. Or not staggered again. Doing that thing where we can, like, rope him. There we go. Rope-a-dope. Okay, hit him with the big one. And then I think this one actually does more, yeah, to filling up the stagger gauge. Let's see if we can get it there with this. Nope, we can't even hit him. Did we hit him? Wait a minute. I don't feel like we got the ability out. Not that it matters. We've got him down. That's what actually counts. I think we might go ahead and do aerial blast as he's coming out of the stagger, just to get some free damage in there and to try to drain that stagger bar again as quick as we can. Just gonna get out of there, get out of there! Oh, jeez! That was a near death situation right there. Alright, give that guy a good big punch. And then give him one of these. And then give him one of these. Just give him all the things. There's like an itch in the deepest recesses of my ear, and I don't know what that's all about, but it's very annoying. Yeah, there we go. Come on, he's so close! Okay, how do we want to defeat it? Can we do one of these? Can we do... there we go. We wanted to get a good combination stomp in there. Wait, can't we do this and then, like, press these at the same time? Yeah, we can. I keep forgetting that we can do that. That's an ability that we have that I just constantly forget exists. I think it's like the lunge or something. There we go. Finish. There's a couple of abilities that we have that I just routinely forget about and never take advantage of. We need to stop that. It's a good one, though. Good one. Big boys down.
Clive?
Are you turning, Theodore?
You had me worried for...
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, Theodore.
We have to get you out of here. I think it might be a little too late for that. Bearer or no, there's only so much ether a man can take, and that Drake just wouldn't let me leave.
Let's get him out of here. Come on, we can try.
You have my thanks, Sid, for finishing what I could not.
Don't do this. He's a sweet boy.
For keeping Elle's dream. Theodore!
Yeah, he's gone. Can we just chain him up and take him back with us?
Don't make me do this.
Stop it, Theo! Stop!
Stay back, Eloise! He's turned. And so will you!
Why are we not?
Elle. Theodore.
Because we could be learning something useful about the Akashic here.
Take care of my sister.
See, he's still in there. They're all still in there.
Wait. Goodbye.
There has to be a way to save them. Oh, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Well, I was not anticipating this getting heavy. We definitely picked a real winner for the last one, didn't we?
Thank you, Clive. I think I'll be all right now.
That was true bravery he showed. Leading the dragon away from the village like that. His first instinct was always to protect people. To put others' well-being before his own.
And now he's gone. Because I sent him to that place. Against his will.
It wasn't against his will. He was ready to do whatever it took to show you he could stand on his own. So that you would finally be free to live your own life.
To live my own life. He never could come to terms with the choice I made.
What exactly happened? You once told me Theo was the first bearer you ever helped.
We grew up in Canva. We were born to one of the great trading houses. And I was chosen to inherit the family business. I had my father's head for figures, you see. Theo did not. While I studied the art of commerce, he played at soldiers instead. A late bloomer. In more ways than one. For unlike most bearers, it wasn't until his 15th summer that his powers awakened. My parents tried to drive him out of the house and into the care of the constables. But before they could, I took him into mine.
Theo told me something else. He clearly admired your devotion to the cause of freeing others like him from slavery. But he said you deserved a better life than this. He wanted to free you from what he called your bonds, just as you freed him from his.
I would be lying if I said I had not wondered from time to time how much easier my life might have been if I had allowed Theo to be taken and devoted myself to the family business instead. But I have never regretted the decision I made. Being with my brother meant more to me than tradition or reputation. I only had to look at him to remind myself of that night and the choice I made and the fact that I would make the same choice again in a heartbeat. He was never a burden. How could he even think that? If anything, I was the one who weighed him down.
You weren't, Eloise. He said it himself, that he had always been grateful to you for saving him, and that he wanted to repay you by letting you live the life you were denied. Neither you nor Theo weighed each other down. You loved one another. You did whatever was necessary to continue living your lives together, and you always would have.
You're right. All I ever wanted, all I ever did, it was so we could be together. Oh, Theo, why did you have to...
They really said, let's hurt them with this one, didn't they?
I know Theo wanted me to move on, but I'm staying here at the Crimson Caravans to continue our work. We can make a difference here. We can help people, save them. I need nothing more from life than that. So I'll carry on doing what we do, ensuring that goods, people, bearers get where they need to be, bringing smiles to people's faces just like we always have, and to Theo's, wherever he is. This is the life I have chosen, the life I will always choose.
I've made a choice of my own, to continue helping you however I can, whenever you need it.
Thank you, Clive. Let's go on together, then. For Theodore.
Interesting that we would focus on that sign when we say that. Do we associate Theodore very strongly with chocobos? I wasn't familiar with that combination. Oh, we're getting the sign. We're taking the sign home with us. That's great. As well as a reduced Scarlet cooldown time by 3.3 seconds. Hey. I think that does it. I think that with that, if we have a look at the overworld map, there are no more side quests for us here, which means that when we next embark together, it'll be to continue the main story. We're close to the end now. This has been a good game. I've been enjoying it. I have some things that I'm a little critical of, but never think that I haven't enjoyed it. But that's it for today. So thank you folks for watching. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. And that is it for today's stream as well. Said I wanted to do one more tonight, and with that completed, I think I'm going to go to bed. Hopefully we can get up nice and early tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know why I decided to turn those off before I finished the stream. This is what it normally looks like in here, though, in case we're curious. I need to order... I found some lights that I want to get, but I got to construct some sort of thing to go up here. Yeah, see, that's the issue. If it sticks up like that much, it's going to be in the way of the camera. It's got to go kind of up here along the top of the monitor, though, on some kind of, like, a metal... I wonder if I can affix a piece of metal to the back of the monitor and stick the LEDs on that. Something that kind of more uniformly lights the green screen behind me as well as my face. Better than these do. We'll see. We'll see what I come up with. My original plan was to have this big U shape, but I realized that the U shape would need to be able to go above the TV. I mean, it's still doable. It's still perfectly doable. There's no reason it can't be done. I'll just have to figure it out. We're done. I don't know. I'm still talking. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Thank you to GSNL and Lucas Kits for popping in. I appreciate it. And I hope you all have a good one. Kenzie, great to meet you. See you at mine and Lucas's wedding, apparently. Goodbye.